Hello, everyone, and the creature are back.
Part three.
Part three. Speaking of parts, we're on parts. So, in Stories 1, from what I remember, the only time that there were ever parts were on, like, big boss monsters. So, like, a lot of the EX monsters, the, like, half robot monsters, and Fatalis had parts.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, normal monsters did not have parts. We
Correct.
would just fight the monsters.
So you know how in two we had the regular subquest and then we had the trial quests?
Mm-hmm.
In one, we had the regular subquests and then the special subquests that gave us named monsters to fight.
Yeah.
Normally, it was story monsters had parts, and then named monsters had parts. So if you were to just go to the mountain and fight a Kushala Daora, it won't have parts. But if you take the special subquest in one to fight the Kushala Daora, that one will always have parts.
Oh, yeah. And they were also stronger.
Yeah, of course.
So the parts thing would balance them out a bit.
The parts existing was only ever a good thing because we used the greatsword and AoE attacking
Hit every part.
hit everything. So if you hit the head, that same amount of damage goes onto the regular health bar, and if you hit the tail, that same amount of damage goes on the health bar. So if you did an AoE attack, it would hit the head, the tail, and the body, and then the damage on the head and tail would also transfer to the body.
Yeah.
And it was very specific about the fact of it was also story wise, the main monsters we fought that had parts were blighted monsters that were in front of the kinship ore. So they would have their head be a part, and until you break it, you can't gain kinship skill because they're using that as a conduit to draw the blight and cancel out our kinship.
Yeah. It was cool stuff.
I liked it.
I
Was there
liked
any
it.
bad parts of the parts and stories one?
No, I don't think so.
Would you have preferred that all monsters have parts in a similar way to two?
No.
What,
Two.
go back. I'm
We were talking about two.
No, we're talking about one still. I still have more to say about parts in
Okay,
one.
my bad, dog. Yeah, no, I like the system of one a lot better, of just specific mob or story monsters and named monsters from the subquests have parts. Otherwise, you're just fighting the monster. I like that way better.
Do you know why the part system in one doesn't work that well? Like in the
Because we
game
always
in
use the
totality.
great sword, so we always just hit every part and deal more damage.
In one, if a monster has parts, it can't have little subordinate guys. Because those health bars are
Oh,
other monsters that exist in the
yeah.
fight. So as long as a monster has parts, you can't fight against like smaller things with it in comparison to another game that might exist later on in the series. I don't know.
Yeah, I never really thought of that, but that is a really good point.
And Uragon, whenever it spawned the little bomb things that you had to break, those were technically parts, but they didn't deal damage to the monster. So they
Yeah.
just took up that slot. But yeah, the parts in one is really good, but due to technical limitations, the parts counted as separate monsters that just dealt damage to the main body when they were destroyed.
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know if they ever really considered people would do AoE in the way that we did.
They put it in the game.
Yeah.
Two.
I get what they were going for in 2. They wanted things to feel more consequential, and you could like fight a monster and be like, "Oh, if I break the head, then they're not going to be able to do their beam attack."
That's not a thing.
It. Thank you.
No
If I
problem.
break their tail, they won't be able to do their tail swipe.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
No, I'm pretty sure that there
In
was.
story, there was like two monsters that they said that happened with, but it wasn't true.
Yeah. Um, it's just a bit overwhelming. The monsters have too many parts, and once you break a part, most of the time you can't just keep attacking that part to have the full damage because you have the correct weapon. You have to go to the other parts. And then once you break all of the parts, then you're just fighting the monster. And even then, that part may still have a different resistance. And you don't know their strengths and their resistances and weaknesses until you actually hit them with a weapon.
Hmm.
Because I don't even think that using the binoculars helped you with that.
No, it didn't. It just told you their elemental resistances and what their main attack type is.
Yeah. Some of them you could kind of get a feel for. Like most of the time, their wings were weak to piercing
Hmm.
because why wouldn't they be? Tails are weak to slashing, heads are weak to blunt. But there's always the monsters that throw you a curveball, and it's just really annoying more than anything.
Did you like the way the Agonactors did parts?
How they were like they resisted every weapon on every part of them until they went into the lava
Hmm.
because they had the lava armor. So when they cooled down, they were resistant to everything. And then when they went into the lava, they they
We're weak to
melted
everything.
they melted their armor and then they were weak to everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that was really cool.
And what do you think of the Glavenus?
Oh, how its tail resisted everything until
Yeah.
it heated it up, and then it was weak to. I think it was just Slash, wasn't it?
No,
It was weak to everything.
no, it wasn't weak at all. No matter if it was heated up or not.
Huh.
It would just resisted everything always, forever.
Interesting. Pull up the notepad, by the way.
For what?
Mark
Oh,
down our preferences.
okay. I didn't think it mattered that much.
I thought you were having fun with it.
No, God, no. I'm
Oh,
noticing that it's just one all throughout
fair.
because it's just better in every way. The thing about parts in two is they did it in a better way for the system to handle it. So now multiple monsters can be on the field, and those monsters can have different parts. The Celtis Queen did it in a really fun way, where if the Celtis was riding on the Celtis Queen, the Celtis became a part.
Yeah.
Certain monsters known for regeneration, like Nergigante, you would break the part and then it would regrow, but breaking the part again would give you more materials. Some monsters had a system where if you broke their legs, they would be downed,
Yeah.
and if you broke their horn, they would blah blah blah. Uh, a lot of the time, the problem with that is the only time it matters for you to down a monster is if you're having a hard time fighting it. Like a T-Rex that can attack you 3 times.
Yeah.
Like a named T-Rex specifically. The problem is, once something's enraged, it won't be able to be downed anymore.
Yeah.
And
And
you can't.
also, once you down it by breaking its legs, you can't down it again because the legs don't regenerate.
Hmm. And then there's also the problem of the people that you're fighting with do not care about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They will attack the exact same parts every single time. So if you're in a, let's say, a boss fight with a T-Rex, and a T-Rex can't be downed while it's enraged, and every time you fight this monster, they're always going to be dealing the same amount of damage to the boss's legs. So the legs will always break when it's enraged, so you never get the benefit of downing it. And also, apparently, Navarro keeps saying if you break the legs, it can't attack twice in a row anymore. And then the legs are broken, and it's still attacking twice in a row.
Yeah. The parts are just annoying overall.
In the same way as we talked about in the quick finish stuff, they exist solely so that you have to break the parts in order to get the materials necessary in order to
Yeah.
craft their armor. But even breaking their armor, most of the time, the guaranteed thing you're getting is just another piece worth 1 point towards the 20 you need to make a single piece of armor go up 1 rank.
Yeah, I just got to the point where I would rather just quick finish and fight it again to get, 5 parts instead of 8 or 9 or 10
Yeah.
because it's just not worth my time or my sanity. The parts were just really annoying and too. They were fun. They were an interesting idea, but I just think they were implemented poorly.
Yeah.
So,
And then there's the monsters like Uragon, not Uragon, Viserios, where once you broke the part, that part was broken, but you could now attack the broken part in order to deal more damage.
yeah, and I liked that
Yeah.
because that is also a thing in Monster Hunter. Because you would quote unquote tenderize the spot and it became a weak spot.
Yeah.
So,
In comparison, you have a very weak implementation of a part system that only exists on specific story monsters, and whenever it pops up, that means they're not going to have little guys to fight alongside them. But I enjoyed it a lot more because every time it popped up, it meant something when you
Yeah.
broke one of those parts. Whereas in 2, everything has parts, and the implementation of the system within it makes breaking the parts not feel fun. And then the whole system of the blunt, piercing, and sharp mechanic alongside the weapon switching and the charge system make that an unfun mechanic to work around.
Yeah. Because, like, in. I feel like I understand what they were going for. Because in Monster Hunter before, things like the Fatalis, you have to break its head so that its breath attack is weaker. The, oh god, what's the multi-element dragon called?
Elatrion?
Elatrion. The Elatron, you have to break its horn so that it's stuck in an element and it makes its Eschaton judgment weaker. Things like the Duramboros, if you broke its tail or sliced off its tail, whenever it tried to do its spinning attack with it, it would be off center and it would just fall over. Monsters, you would attack their face with a hammer to stun them.
Yeah, if KO
Things like
damage
that.
was a thing, I think the part if they implemented a like they took a system that was branching between the stories world and the Monster Hunter regular world in the part system, but they didn't implement any of the stuff that made the part system in the actual Hunters game matter. Like
Yeah.
attacking the head with a hammer is meant to do KO damage so that you can knock it out. That's not a thing in this game.
Yeah.
But I will say my favorite way that the parts were utilized, even versus the Nergigante, is the Gammoth fight when we were hyper under leveled
Yeah,
for the Gammoth,
I was
where
gonna bring that up and I forgot.
where it just doesn't have parts, and then it covers itself in snow and gains parts, and it's always going to do this big AoE attack within about 3 turns, and depending on how many parts you break will determine how much damage the AoE attack does.
Yeah, which we had no idea that's how that worked.
Until like the first time I killed it and then you fought it.
Well, I
Because
fought it, but then I Googled it, and they said, yeah, if you break more of its parts, its AoE attack will do less damage.
I think the timing of how it happened was I was like, oh yeah, if the AoE attack goes off, you're going to die. Except sometimes when it went off, it wasn't that bad because there were points in time where I was doing the fight and I was just kinship attacking over and over again in order to keep adding on turns, and I kept breaking more parts, and I was like, oh god, the AoE attack is gonna happen, we're all gonna die instantly. And then it dealt like 100 damage, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I guess it just does less damage sometimes. And then when you were fighting it, you looked it up and went, "Oh yeah, when you break parts, it does less damage." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
Speaking of Gammoth, we should have mentioned this earlier when we were talking about monsters, but some monsters just gain their stats at different rates. 99% of them, they all just got stronger as they leveled up. But then the Gammoth decided, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be weak as shit until level 50, then I'm gonna start steamrolling.
Then I'm going to become a regular monster. Let's not go too
Yeah.
far.
I just, I just didn't get that. But yeah, between the two, I like one better.
Yeah, I like one better.
So,
Shocking. I know.
Royal Monsters, which we can talk more about that. Talk more about Gamma. In Stories 1, there were only like 2 or 3, which were just monsters that were just stronger. So, like the Pink Rathian, we found that in the Cherry Blossom Path, and I decided I'm gonna throw hands with that. And I got my ass kicked.
The term royal monster exists only in Stories 2, and the full definition of it is a monster that has come from a way higher level zone that is just asleep in a zone that it does not belong in. So in Stories 1, the only royal monster I know of that fits that category of way above the level it's supposed to be, just asleep in an area, is the Pink Rathian.
But then we could still find Pink Rathian eggs in the dens in that area, so I just don't know why it was so much stronger.
But it was a fun fight.
I think they did say like, oh, that's a tough monster, we should stay away from that or something.
Yes. They said walk away.
Yeah. And I said I didn't hear no bell. The only other one that I can really think of, so after a certain point, Devil Joe just decided to invade your fights. And at first it was, it was strong and it was a threat. And then it just became, okay, I'm trying to hunt this specific monster. Oh, hey, there's a devil drill. And it just got really annoying. And then I think Tigrex would show up in the cold area sometimes. I don't. I might be misremembering, but yeah, it it only happened like once or twice in Stories One.
But yeah, the invading monsters are now royal monsters.
Well, yeah, I know that. I'm just saying that it was annoying and that they were higher level at first.
Yeah,
So.
I liked Pink Rathian.
Mhm.
In
Pink Rathian
stories,
stayed with me throughout the entire game. I
Mhm.
love that thing.
In stories 2, there are 6 royal monsters. There's about 4 continents in the game, and in the 3 past the starting one, every zone had 2 royal monsters. In the first zone, the royal monsters were a Tigrex and a
There was an Anjanath, I think.
no.
No. Oh, no. I remember. There was a T-Rex.
Yeah,
Um,
Tigrex and a Monoblos that
yeah,
was asleep in the rocky area that we
yeah.
fought against a lot.
And I
And
put
the only
Monoblos in
time
that
that I
game.
used the hunting horn because we didn't have the ability to buy or make sound bombs yet. So that
Yeah.
was the only way I had to get it up from the ground. And you kept forgetting to put on the hunting horn.
Yeah, I still won.
Yeah, that's not a
No, I won
problem.
before you did.
Yeah, I know. That's not a problem. I'm just saying it's funny that every time you
Yeah.
fought it, you were like, I forgot the hunting horn again.
The second area, there was the Gammoth, which was insanely strong.
Gammoth is the only monster that I had to, outside of named monsters, that I had to sit down, make a plan, figure out a perfect set, and realize, oh, the only fire hammer that I have, because every part of it is weak to hammer, is a Basarios weapon that is heavily under leveled for what I'm trying to do
Mm-hmm.
here. And so we had to wait until we started killing Basarios in the rocky Basarios? No, not Basarios. Yeah, no, it wasn't Basarios. God,
It was
Gravios.
Gravios,
The
yeah.
Gravios hammer was when I came back and killed Gammoth.
It was the spiky hammer.
Yeah,
Um,
that every other royal monster was just kind of walk up, kill it, and it was a little bit higher level than
yeah.
everything else.
Because there was a Zenogre in the snow area
Hmm.
that was not that big of a threat.
I was so happy to see the Zenogre because I remembered it having the jump skill, so we could finally get rid of Velocidrome.
Yeah. And then in the
Lemur.
Lemur in the
Lemur.
desert area, there was the brute Tigrex before the desert,
Hmm.
which was just a stronger Tigrex.
Hmm. No,
Uh,
even worse. It was a strength Tigrex.
oh yeah, because they turned Tigrex into a speed monster, and then
Hmm.
brute Tigrex was strength.
Hmm.
And then there was a white Monoblos outside the tower in the desert, which I wanted. I used it for a bit, and then I just went, I miss my Monoblos.
Hmm.
And those were the only royal monsters, which were neat. I liked them. I liked being able to get stronger monsters earlier, but there was also the double-edged sword of now that I had the stronger monster, why would I use anything else from this area?
I never had that problem.
But it
The
was nice that the gear that you could craft with them required you to get stuff from other monsters that were further on, so you couldn't get the weapons and armor early.
This is another weird thing about stories too. I'm pretty sure we talk about this a little later, or we already talked about it. But in one, going through the story and cleansing the kinship or raised the level of your kinship stone, and it allowed you to tame higher rarity monsters. In two, that doesn't exist. The second you're able
Yeah.
to get an egg is the second you're able to use that monster. So these royal monsters, if you found them, fought them, and then made them run away, you were able to use them. I don't understand why we were. They should have been locked to a higher level.
Yeah, because
Because
they
these monsters do just start popping up as regular monsters once we reach the zone that they had run away from to fall asleep in these lower level areas. They should have been locked away in the same way that their armor and weapons were.
yeah. It was just a weird system that I just wasn't that big a fan of. So
If
comparing
we
them,
were
one
to
is better.
if we were to compare Pink Rathian to Gammoth, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you which one was better. I loved both of those fights so much. They really pushed me to the limit. But the problem that I run into is the only reason Gammoth pushed me to my limit was because it had an AoE attack that could one-shot both me and my teammates, and
Yeah.
I had no way of stopping my teammates from dying. Because the way that you handle a monster using an incredibly strong attack in one is by using traps. When the Rajang was in its powered up state and the strength one, and I didn't want to use my limited source of healing, I put down a strength trap, it ran into it, and I had a turn of setup before I had to get back into throwing hands with this giant monkey. In two, it just doesn't work because it's a royal monster.
Yeah.
So the second an AoE attack goes off, that's two hearts lost from my allies. And I can bet you $1 billion they had already killed themselves using a technical attack against the monster that only uses strength. That is the only reason the fight in 2 is difficult, but I can't turn the part of my brain off that went, but it was kind of difficult though, so I had fun when I finally beat it. So I'm going to say that if it were just Pink Rathian and Gammoth versus each other, I wouldn't be able to pick a winner. But then I have to think of the reputation of Royal Monsters in 2, where you add Tigrex, Monoblos, Zinogre, Brute Tigrex, and White Monoblos, and just say, yeah, I prefer the Pink Rathian because that was a sleeping dragon. Whereas all the other Royal Monsters are just, oh, hey, cool, a high ranking monster in a lower area that I get to kill and take home for free.
Because yeah, when I killed Pink Rathian, I got the egg as well. And I was really excited. I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get a Pink Rathian. This is gonna be awesome." What do you mean? It's 2 ranks higher than me, and I can't use it.
Yeah.
Whereas with Tigrex and Monoblos, I was like, "Ooh, fun thing." Monoblos just decimated everything. So I liked one better because not only do you get the satisfaction of killing such a strong monster, you have to wait to use their egg, and it feels so much better. It feels like such a better reward.
I didn't feel any of the power of getting the monster. What I felt was, oh, Tigrex, cool. I get dash and Ivy climb. Oh,
Yeah.
Monoblos, cool. I get ground dive. Oh, Zinogre, cool. I get jump. And that was all I felt.
Gammoth didn't even have any field moves.
Mega Breaker.
Oh, it did have Mega Breaker. It also had Roar.
Yeah.
So
All right, I'm done talking about these losers.
fair.
Rare
Rare
monsters.
monsters.
So before a certain point, because it took me a while to remember that Pink Rathian exists, this was going to be a comparison of like, oh, what's the difference between royal monsters and rare monsters? Because royal monsters were mainly in 2 and rare monsters were in 1. But then I remembered, oh wait, there is a royal monster in 1, which is why Pink Rathian was there. So the concept of rare monsters in 1, we talked about it a little bit before, but as you can see in the screenshots, that's the exact same zone. When you load into this zone, sometimes there will be no monsters. Sometimes there will be a little bit of a rare monster, like a red Kezu. And sometimes there will be the rare monster of the zone, which is a Tigrex for this one. And this existed in every single area. If you wanted a Nursilla or a Shrouded Nursilla, you had to go to the desert area and then reset the catavan stand, which is on this list. So we're not going to talk about the catavan stand right now. And then you would have to do that over and over again. A thing about 1 is because this game is so low res and everything, there is 0 pop-in, which we talked about a little bit
Mm-hmm.
before. So if you had a flying monster and you flew up, you saw the whole zone and you saw every monster. So the second that you were at the catavan stand, you flew up and you saw a Tigrex, you were like, I got him.
Yeah.
And then also, Korapeka was there if you want to say the good word of Korapeka, our Lord and
Yeah.
Savior.
Kurapeko just had Monster Call, so you could just go outside and just keep using Monster Call over and over and over again until you got the monster you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, shit, what was I gonna say? I completely lost my train of thought because you had me do that.
Sorry.
Oh, right, the Kieran. You were trying to find Kieran for so long, and you looked online and they were like, oh yeah, it's at the Great Tree. So you went to the top of the tree and just kept going down a little bit to find it, and then you said, fuck it, I'm just gonna use Quarapeco until you found it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the tree and I looked the whole tree, and as it turns out, oh yeah, Kieran replaces the Zinogre that spawns at the bottom of the tree.
Yeah.
And so I just found it really quickly, which I thought was really funny. Yeah, no, Rare Monsters and Stories 1 were really good, mainly because you can just see the whole zone. I do like that it makes the zone have difference differences in the monsters that spawn. I think that's really good. Whenever I think of the snowy zone between the two games, I always think of Stories 1 first, where there was the Zamtrios in like the middle of the area, the whole frozen lake and all that. Good stuff.
Anything else you want to say about one? Was it annoying having to wait for the monster to spawn that you actually wanted to fight and try to get to run away or farm its parts?
Nah.
Because farming parts, as we said before, isn't that bad in one. So waiting for a monster to spawn to get the kill wasn't that bad because you didn't have to do it 17 times. It was just wait for it to spawn, kill it, and then, oh no, it didn't run away. I'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
That was the only bad part about it.
Yeah. Stories 1 was good with rare monsters. And Stories 2 just didn't have rare monsters.
Stories 2, every single monster has a specific rare spawn point. There was a point in Stories 2 where, because of the way that we played the game, where we only made story progress when the video was running, and I love grinding out stuff on the side because I think it's funny, I would go into rare dens for hours at a time of just different rare den over and over in order to find monsters that weren't spawning in the overworld because we hadn't reached that point in the story. I didn't know that yet. I thought that Stories 2 was running on the same thing that Stories 1 was, of some monsters just spawn in areas and sometimes they don't, and you just get lucky or unlucky if they spawn. So I was going in these rare monster dens to find monsters I hadn't seen before. And it turns out it was just a story progress thing. Every single monster in Stories 2, outside of the ones that are locked into co-op missions, are always exactly where they were the last time you saw them. If you want to fight a Nergigante, you have to get the Nergigante quest and then go to the exact same spot. If you want to find an Emerald Nargacuga, it is always right where it is. There are no chances for something to spawn. It is 100% there.
Well, except for the Legiacris. The Legiacris would just sometimes spawn in the area, but it was always right next to where the quest one would spawn.
No, that was a story progress thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh.
We were literally one quest away. We had done the quest to kill the Legiacris, but we hadn't done the quest to talk to the person in town after killing the Legiacris. So the
Yeah.
only way we could get it to spawn was to grab the quest.
Yeah.
And then once we had done the quest and I went to check, it's always there.
Yeah. You're so smart. Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Though there was a really funny thing about rare monsters in one. You remember the Royal Ludroth in one? You remember how it could spawn multiple times in separate locations on that beach?
Oh,
Whenever
yeah.
you went to the plains, it could either spawn sleeping next to the boat in the water or walking around a little bit up the beach.
Yeah.
And sometimes multiple could spawn at the same time. So I would load in sometimes with just 3 Royal Ludroths sitting right next to each other, which was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry.
We both
sorry.
agree. We like having the chance for monsters to spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Dens.
Go for it.
Okay. So dens. I forgot to add subquest dens, but effectively, if you get a quest that requires you to go into an instance zone, there's a subquest den, which is a silver version of the regular den. The top right is a regular den. In one, it depends on the element of the area you're in. So if it's a desert, it's going to have a more desert vibe, which is what you're looking. No. And then there's the forest one, which is the one you're looking at. And then there's the ice one and stuff like that. It's different variations. The one on the bottom left is a rare den where more rare monsters of the zone will spawn and better eggs will spawn. And then at the top left is a high rank den, which is once you beat the game, you have high rank monsters to fight. And so this is the place that you find them, which is high rank dens.
And then you could also find rare high rank dens, which were also gold. So you had to run up to them to find out if they were high rank or regular. But the monster or the eggs that you could find, it didn't matter if you were in high rank or regular.
It was just a rare den. And a thing about one, the prayer pot for dens. Dens had a chance of spawning, and then they had a chance of becoming a rare den. And you could use the prayer pot to increase the chance of rare dens spawning. There's also egg dens, which is what you get for making a monster retreat. In Stories 1, if you're in a den and you fight a monster, it will never retreat. So the only way to get rare monsters to run away to their egg den to get a 100% chance of getting their egg was to wait for it to spawn, fight it, throw a paintball at it to make it retreat, and then an egg den of its own would spawn that you could go in to fight the monster to get the egg. If you wanted a specific egg, like an elder dragon egg that only spawns in a rare den, you had to go in, fight monsters, and then randomly rummage through eggs and hope that you got it. And if you didn't, you had to go through another rare den.
Mm-hmm.
There were loading zones between every single spot in a den and one.
Yeah.
And there were sometimes chances in rare dens of like infestation spots in there where a lot of the same monster would spawn. So it would be really funny to just go into the desert one, enter a zone, and be like, oh wow, there's sure a lot of plum Daimo Hermitar here.
Yeah.
And 4 of them were sprinting at you.
Yeah. That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Especially when you can't fucking get the egg of them.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I think the only thing that I would have to say that's negative about the dens in Stories 1 is just that the loading zones and monsters you fight inside of dens can't retreat. But the dens were a lot smaller. Well,
no, there was just loading zones.
There were just loading zones. So.
In 2, as you can see, the bottom right is a subquest den. I didn't get a regular den.
I thought that was a regular den.
It is a regular den, but subquest dens are about that shade. This is just the ice area. Then you have the rare den at the top right. You can see Enna there. You have the high rank den at the bottom left, and then you have a new thing called Ever dens, which have to do with bottle caps, which we're not going to talk about because they just don't interest me that much. And then, of course, you have the egg dens, which monsters retreat. In Stories 2, monsters in dens can run away, so you can be in an egg den inside a den, which is funny.
But if you were in an egg den inside of a den, it would just be straight into their nest. You wouldn't have the whole den to go through.
Yeah.
So you couldn't do an egg den inside of an egg den inside of an egg den.
Which would have been funny, but yeah.
It would have been fun. The Everdens were always there. There were multiple on the map. They never moved. You would go through them. They'd have a bunch of treasure chests. You'd get like bottle caps, money, gear, things like that. You'd get to the end, and they would always have one egg, and it's always the same egg.
As the monster that you fight to get that egg.
Yeah. And then if you grab all the chests, all the bottle caps, Never will say, oh hey, I think that was the last chest. So... And if you looked at it on the map, it would say either Everden, the name of the Everden, or if you grabbed everything, it would say completed Everden. And once we got to a certain point in the story, more Everdens started popping up, but bottle caps were a finite resource, and they were just used to buy, like, tickets and more slots in the stable. They were just kind of whatever. And same thing with Stories 1, where if you wanted a rare egg, it didn't matter if it was a high rank rare or a regular rare. There were just rarer eggs in there. But the prayer pot did not have a chance to make rare dens pop up more. It was just higher chance for more rare eggs. Or like the genes, things like that.
You want to go to comparison since there's not much to talk about specifically.
Yeah.
Too. In 1, there was a chance you entered a zone and there was 2 dens there and neither of them were high rank or high rank or rare. And then you go to a different zone and you'd run into like 7 rare dens.
Yeah.
And then you use the prayer pot to give yourself more rare dens, and there might not be a rare den. In 2, there's pretty much guaranteed 2 rare dens in every zone that you enter. So when you reset, you would always have 2 new rare dens to go into.
Yeah. I honestly think I like the dens in 2 better.
Oh. Yeah, I'll agree. Everdens were cool.
Yeah, I liked them. They had some good stuff in there.
And making monsters run away inside the den was better.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And the fact that there wasn't a loading zone every time, so you got a full map layout, which was neat.
Yeah. I did like the expeditions. Do we have that in this?
No.
Okay.
Well, we have co-op, so.
We have co-op. Okay, we'll talk about it then.
Prayer pot.
Prayer pot.
Alright, so you have 2 options for prayer pot. You can give it money, which always gives you bonus XP, and giving it more money determines how long it'll last. I believe the max can last is 99.99, so about an hour and 40 minutes. And then you had the charms, which gave you increased chance of finding rare stuff, finding getting better rewards from killing monsters, increasing your kinship charge, increasing the amount of money you get for selling stuff, lowering the amount of money required to buy stuff, increasing your defense, increasing your attack, giving you a small heal over time, and getting better stuff, I think.
Uh, if I remember, oh, hello. More experience, rare dens, rare gathering points. So like the different colored bugs for rare bugs, the yellow rocks, uh, lucky charm. You'd find leprechauns more often. I think that was just was lucky charm. I think that was just more items.
Yeah, more items from killing monsters.
Yeah, more items from killing monsters. That's more gathering points, I believe. Uh, mounting charm is
More kitchen.
more kinship. Selling items sell for more. Buying you buy items for less. Adamant is your defense is increased. Might is your attack is increased. Recovery is you heal a little bit at the end of every turn. Fortuitous is you get more money after every fight.
Yep, I agree with what you just said.
So I'm just letting them know what all of them were.
And I agree.
Um,
That's pretty much it.
it was a lot more simplistic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, that was it.
In Stories 2,
If you look at the bottom left, you can see that my prayer pot is level 20, and you can see that there are specific percentages now on the stuff. Depending on your level would determine what percentage you got. Because I was level 20, my selling charm increased the selling price by 20%. The way that you increase it is by giving the prayer pot charms. And I believe to get max level, it costs like 250 charms or whatever.
something like that. Yeah, it took a lot. Whoops. I accidentally hit escape, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And then you also had the ability that you could have one charm and one prayer active, but just to be clear, they do not stack. So if you put on an experience bonus charm and an experience bonus prayer, the prayer is worthless and it will not do anything because it will only care about the charm. So you want to put yourself with like increased kinship charm and then increased damage prayer.
Yeah. The praying and offering charms were exactly the same, but there just wasn't a prayer for buying and selling.
And the
But
prayer was way weaker.
yeah, the prayer was way weaker. Uh, leveling it was kind of annoying because at the start of the game, it was like nothing, like get an extra 0.5% experience.
There's so all of the charms, what they do is increase sell price, decrease buying price, increase your chance to gather rare things, heal yourself over time, increase damage, increase XP, increase the chance of finding.
I think gather more stuff when you gather, or
That was gathering.
you find rare gathering points more.
Oh, okay. Increase defenses. Oh, increase your chance of getting a rare egg and increasing your kinship.
Yeah.
And then your prayers were increased XP, increased chance of gathering rare stuff, increased chance of getting rare eggs, increased chance of blah blah blah, increased kinship, increased defense, increased attack, and increase healing every turn. And then there was a third thing that your prayer pot could do in this game that it couldn't do in Stories 1, which is Tsukino's Lunar Luck, which gave you rare items every 24 hours.
I love gambling.
It sure was existing.
Yeah, it certainly existed. It was nice to get an extra item like early game, but once we got to late game, I just stopped caring.
Once you get your expedition parties set up, which we're probably not going to talk about, it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah. I did not like the leveling system.
It bothered me for like a week, and then I was fully maxed out.
Yeah. Because you get so many charms that you can just say, oh yeah, just have 100 mounting charms. Because even you ugh, each charm would make it last 30 minutes unless it was like the charm of the day, which has that little Naviru symbol. which would make it 45 minutes instead. It could go up to 99 minutes, 99 seconds, and thank you. But you could go way past the time, and it would just say you're not going to get all this time, but it would still count for the charms that you give to it. So you just give it 100 mounting charms, and then oh hey, it leveled up. Here's more charms that you can use for it.
Anything else you have to say about it?
No, one was better. I liked being able to double up on them in two, but I hated the level system.
The problem that I run into with 2 is I like the grindy, annoying bullshit. I liked having to reset the catavan stand in order to go find rare things, and putting in the charm to make it more likely to find the rare things felt like it helped. The giving myself more damage or even more defense from the parapet felt worthless, because why would I care if I just kill everything so easily already? Why would I need 15% more damage done? Why would I need 10% more kinship charge? Everything about the prayer pot in 2 just felt neutered because everything else around it got gutted so badly.
Also, forgot to mention this. In 2, there was no prayer or charm to make rare dens show up more often.
Because they were guaranteed.
So, it was just increase the chance of rare genes on your eggs.
Yeah.
So,
I
this one's a hard one to decide on because 1 was very bare, but 2 had the annoying level system.
I prefer 2 in every way, shape, and form. The problem is, it's going to take a lot of flack for the fact that the rest of the game around it is so gutted in everything that it actually wants to do.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I could put in charms to find rare dens in 1, but I prefer the system of being able to put in 2 charms. I like the cute little Sakuno lunar luck. I liked giving it stuff so that it could level up. I liked the smoke. I liked the design of it. It's just a fact of, in 1, the game made sense with the prayer pot. Putting in the extra damage and the extra defense felt like it mattered. In 2, it doesn't that much.
Yeah.
So I prefer the prayer pot in 2, excluding all of the stuff around it.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Kinship.
Kinship.
All right. Click the link and then go to the description and pick your 3 favorite monsters, and we'll watch those.
Okay. There we go.
Some cutie made a video about all of the monsters.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Ceregios.
I mean, do you want to just watch our top 3?
Sure.
Just click one at the end so we can see the list.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh no, Orochi Kirin. Bad is when you start looking through all of the DLC ones.
The 3DS, yeah. Where is it? Well, I want to watch Ceregios.
Okay.
So, and then Ceregios. Piercing Star.
You like this one?
I love Ceregios. It's so cool. The cloud of the.
Oh, we gotta watch Gold Rathian.
Oh yeah. And then it goes down for a kick. It's so good. Always a banger.
Always a banger.
I'm looking for Brachydios.
Your Ceregios, didn't it have water stuff going on?
It did.
Your favorite.
Oh, we gotta see. Oh, we can't see Cunty Nabaru.
So good.
Yeah. I should have downloaded stories one so I could have shown them.
Although
Although there isn't the replay thing in 1, is there?
Nope. So you'd have to go out and do it.
Yeah.
This one is just another joke. But honestly, and of
Love
course,
the training arc.
Gold Rathian.
Gold Rathian. There you are.
It is better than Azura.
The Gold Rathian.
I love this one.
This one caught me
Scorching
by
Slice.
surprise.
I love this one.
We
We watched
watched
it, and she was like, "Oh,
Love
I was
and
expecting
Steel.
it to be different."
Fireball.
And then
Can we watch Silver Rathalos? I'm trying to remember what it's like in
goes in
1, and
for
I
the
can't
spin.
remember.
Yeah.
And this is when we knew it was peak.
God, it's so
And
cool.
we didn't expect this either.
Boom.
It's
I
Didn't expect this.
would you call
either.
that an impact frame? That right there.
Sure.
'Cause I really like that whenever they do an explosion.
It's
I mean, look at
so-
Zenogre.
Zenogre.
Is
No.
Zenogre or Stygian Zenogre?
before the explosion.
No. I don't like looking at them.
Probably.
I don't know
Well, I
if
mean,
it's
we have
because
to compare
I
it to
love stuff.
2,
We haven't
so I
seen
can
this
tell you
one
how they
yet.
gutted my boy.
The last one was the sun, so this one's got to be the moon.
Wow.
Take the moon.
That is the moon
Oh,
monster, yet
yeah.
it doesn't have anything to do with the moon.
Yeah,
That's the part that
regular
doesn't make sense
Rathalos
to me.
just kicks into them. Silver shoots the fireball, which does the multiple explosions.
Yeah. Alright, and last one is Zenogre.
Do you want regular Zenogre or
Yeah,
Stygian?
Stygian. Stygian's the one we actually used.
Stygian
Yeah.
Zenogre.
Love that little
Honestly, I wanna
guy.
rate this one even lower than just tying with like regular Zenogre.
Really? I think the dragon.
We saw
thunder
this
goes hard.
so many times.
I was joking.
What's the joke?
The joke is hockey.
Just the greatest to ever do it.
Just the greatest to ever do it.
Alright, we're done with that. Now we'll move on to 2.
Hold on, I want to see the Great Poogie again. And this is the last one. You love the Great Poogie.
No, I don't.
Main character.
Just because he's worthless doesn't mean he's bad.
Oh, hey,
Let's
Poogies.
go.
Poogies are on this list, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's so slow. It's just.
It
a
just
joke.
knocks them away. So based.
2.
I got
2.
Oops. Keep going to the description. No, go back.
I love that shit.
Stop it.
Oh my god, you are fighting for your life.
Yeah. Okay, do we show the Gold Rathian again?
Yeah. Gold Rathian, Stygian Zenogre.
Silver Rathalos.
Alright, Gold Rathian. Is it going to be the.
I need to show Bolt Reaver Astalos because that's my boy.
Spins in a different direction. It went so hard, babe. You wouldn't understand.
I was there.
Oh!
He's moving so much there. Still has that impact
those
frame.
impact-
But it's just so much lesser. They take out the time.
there.
The reason why it felt so cool was the fact that when you used the Gold Rathian, it looked like a regular Rathian's kinship attack, and then it started spinning, and you were like, "Oh, okay." Like the sun, I get. Oh!
And then in this one, I don't know why it has it do the spin just on the ground away from the monster.
Because it has no soul.
It still does have the really cool impact frame.
Frames.
I think
Then the gold Rathian and Dread.
Silver Rathalos is right here, yeah.
Silver Rathalos. Is it just gonna be a kick again?
No,
I-
it's gonna go to the moon.
I feel nothing about Silver Rathalos. I just forgot what it looked like.
It still does the thing.
Oh, it's just one fireball.
But now it's just one explosion.
Alright, where's Stygian Zenogre?
There he is. Boy. Oh, and Serigio as well, of course.
Steve!
Honestly, I think it goes in horrible.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Had to move
Devil
Devil
Joe.
Joe down.
Stygian's an ogre.
There's no cutaway frame. Why did they remove the cutaway frame?
Ah, woo!
Yeah, it goes above Zenogre.
Oh, right.
Did that vote your
Steve
vote?
is right after this.
Alright, Steve, what do you got?
The exact same thing as before.
Here's some
I don't
star.
know.
Steve, you
He
brought this
flies
to show
up.
and tell twice already. It's my scales.
I do like that in this one,
I bring
the
gifts.
blades go down first and then he goes down.
It's got
They
impact.
have such a cool mechanic of your kinship attacks change depending on your element. Your Ceregios had the water effects in its kinship attack, but because of the fact that in 2, you don't have that ability to mess with their elemental stats because you don't have substats on your genes. You just can't do that unless you want to remove half of your genes in order to put in water attack up small, water attack up medium, water attack up large, water attack up extra large, in order to have a chance to get that.
I do also like that my Kieran, because I did not want to use the Orochi Kieran, I just gave ice attacks to it,
Mhm.
and then it turned its Thunderbolts into Ice Thunderbolts.
It was
And
regular
honestly,
Thunderbolts, but it also left behind ice.
Yeah, and I thought that was just
Cobra,
really
mind
cool. Alright, so we need Bolt Reaver
you.
Astalos, and then... Oh, Hellblade Glavenus, and
No,
that'll be the
we
last one.
cannot. We cannot stay here forever. There are deviant monsters in 2. The
can't.
deviant monsters look really
Yeah, but look
cool.
at how cool Bolt Reaver Astalos is! He does a fucking lightsaber!
You know what else is cool? Our fans.
Mmm. They need to see the Glavenus, though. That'll be the last one, I promise. Place now.
Of course.
Oh,
Double X-Blade.
You mean double cross?
Double cross.
Alright,
Double
Hellblade
up.
Glavenus. Show me
They don't get the context, but
Spin.
this is double what a regular Glavenus does.
Uh,
What are you doing?
here we go. The logo in Japan, Monster Hunter XX.
I can't believe
Double
we didn't
cross.
get Velstrax. Hopefully we get Velstrax in 3.
Velstrax? Oh, yeah.
Alright. Conclusion and comparison. It looks so much better in 2, but they removed so much of the small stuff that I really liked in 1. They
Yeah.
got rid of impact frames. They made the attacks way faster.
And they got rid of the whole elemental thing. Because my Black Diablos, I gave it fire stuff, and that changed some of its attack.
Yeah.
Which I really like.
I don't want to blame the kinship attack system for the fact that they fucked up the genes and the element system so badly. But the fact that the elements and stuff affect the kinship attack and you just don't get to experience that in 2 because of the way that they did it makes me really upset.
Yeah. I think I'd still give it to 2, though.
I'd give it to 1.
Well, I'm saying 2 because there's more monsters. I'll say 1 because I like the elemental stuff. I thought it was cool.
Don't blame the elemental stuff. If you the only reason you're giving it to 1 is because of the elemental stuff, then you like 2 more.
Well, the elemental stuff, the impact frames, and yeah.
Alright. Double kinship skill doesn't exist in 1,
Because
which
you
means
didn't
you
have
don't
buddies.
have buddies. The co-op, nope, the co-op one I hate as well. I think the kinship skill, double kinship skill, just looks really bad.
I mean, I can show one of them.
Go for it. Was that? I don't think we did that in 2.
I'm pretty sure we did.
It would be after the Palamutes, right? We show our buddies kinship skill, but I don't think we...
Yep, there's Roberto.
Yeah, but that's just our buddy. That's not us doing a double kinship skill. I don't think we showed double kinship skill at all, because we both hated them so much they would be in the forever hatred tier anyway.
Here we go. This is gonna hurt.
Thank you, Quilbert Gaming,
Thank you
for your
Quilbert Gaming.
video. We hope that you receive all of the commendations that you deserve for being shown in our content. I remember the first time that we saw the double kinship skill with Kana, and we got super hyped about it because it was like, oh my god, this new stuff is crazy. But then we realized, oh, it's always the same forever. I don't want to watch any more of them.
Oh, I was just gonna.
I
show
don't
Kana.
want to watch other people's content right now.
Okay, my bad, dog.
They just look bad.
Yeah,
They look bad.
It's just you just become a line of color, and then you just dash into them.
Mhm.
Some of them, okay, the co-op ones were bad because you just become 2 lines that just merge into each other.
Mhm.
With Kana, you know, her Velocidrome does the kicks all around, and then you dash through it. My favorite one out of all of them was Legiacris, dude. Or not Legiacris, Legiana.
Alwyn.
Alwyn, yeah, because it made the like frost circle around them, and it like explodes, and then you dash through it. I thought that looked really cool. Roberto and Kyle's are so bad.
They're all bad. The problem is it just reverts you to a way weaker version of what you're doing. And the buddies, while I hate them, their kinship skills were at least kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then what happens is when you do a double kinship attack, they just do a really bad version of their kinship attack, attacking your line of energy that then turns it green to make it attack the enemy. I
Yeah, like Roberto's kinship attack was really cool and really funny. I'm sorry. I love that shit. I want Roberto.
I think I put it in pretty good.
Worse than the Great Jaggy?
Where are
I
you?
think so.
Okay.
I like the family dynamic of it.
Fair.
Our Zoro.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright,
Nerfigante.
I keep wanting to call him Rivali. Roberto. Oh, this
Like
is
he
post-game
just
Roberto,
runs in,
'cause he has
does
the,
whatever you want to call
Speaker
that.
sword. His first sword is the Diablo sword. There's
I just like how they split
So
apart
much
like that. I think that's just the
Stop.
coolest shit ever.
Okay. And then there's also the fact of with double kinship skills, using a kinship skill cancels out the turn of the monster that you're attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the ability to do a double kinship skill, you could have canceled out your opponent's turn twice in a row. And then
Yeah.
there's also the fact of every time your teammate's kinship skill reaches 100, they are instantly going to do a kinship skill.
Yeah, they will not do a level 3 kinship skill. It's always a level 1.
Which means that if you want to do a double kinship skill, you have to wait for them to max it out and then do it. But as I just said, it's not worth doing it because 2 kinship skills is better than 1 kinship skill. Because if you're at low health, your ally will heal you on the turn that you're using a kinship skill, canceling out your turn, getting healing. And if they're using a kinship skill, then you can use a charge ability, or if you really need to, a heal. It's just, it's implemented badly, it's done badly, it looks bad, and I don't like it.
Yeah. I would rather just not have it.
So what?
Catavans. In Stories 1, you either had to find a catavan stand and talk to them to be able to fast travel, or use a paw pass ticket, which were a finite resource. I think you got them from
Quest.
quests or killing the barrel felines. Or no, that was a different thing.
Paw pass stamp.
Yeah, which were just a quest item.
Yeah.
And then post game, you could get the paw pass permit, which just let you use it infinitely.
Do you remember how to get the paw pass permit?
Wasn't that from the tower?
You had to get every single catavan stand unlocked.
Right.
And the reason why we got it from the tower is because those are the last catavan stands we needed.
Yeah. I still don't know why there were all of those extra spots on the fast travel menu.
To fake us out.
I guess. So early game, it's kind of annoying because paw pass tickets are a finite resource, but it's not that bad to just go and find a catavan stand because they were pretty plentiful.
Mm-hmm. Though if you were in the volcano, you did tear your hair out because you have to go through a maze in order to find a catavan stand in order to teleport out.
I hated the volcano. In Stories 2, you could just fast travel at any point to any catavan stand for free, consequence free.
And you could use the map to do it as well rather than a drop down menu.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, in the same way we talked about before, of 2 having menus that just have menus within menus for no reason. In order to teleport to a town, go to the next slide. In a town in 1, all of the towns are listed first on the list, and then it would go through all the continents and where you could teleport to. In 2, it is split by continent, so it is town at the top, and then the places you can teleport to, town at the top, and then the places you can teleport to, town at the top, and you have to scroll through if you want to go to a town, or open the big map and then hover over one of the points, and then you have to hit the left or right button in order to be able to scroll through the different points you can teleport that are too close together to be separate points. I personally...
Go ahead, sorry.
What's up?
I was just gonna say, I didn't mind the town and then the places to teleport to in 2, because I didn't really remember the names of the areas all that well. So it was nice to be like, oh, okay, so these are the areas that are near that town. It was helpful for me to remember. but I do understand how that could be frustrating. In one, you could also favorite areas, and those would be at the top of the list.
You can favorite areas in two.
I just don't think I ever did that.
I definitely use the favorite system in both.
Mm.
The thing about in one, you had to reset in order to. There are rare monsters in two. The barrel felines. So they have a chance of spawning and they have a chance of not spawning. They are the only monster in two that has a chance of not spawning in a certain zone. I can't believe I got that wrong.
Fair enough.
In one, you wanted to reset in order to try to get rare monsters to spawn. So you would go to a catavan stand, talk to them, teleport to the catavan stand you want to go to, fly up, look around the entire zone because you could see all of it, and then teleport to a different catavan stand in that same area because you can't teleport to the same catavan stand that you're standing at. Fly up, look around the zone because you could see all of it, and then go teleport to a different one until eventually you saw what you were looking for of either a rare den or the rare monster you were looking for. In two, the only time I really had to do something like that was the looking for barrel felines thing. But because of the fact that you can just open your map and teleport to a catavan stand, you're able to teleport to the exact one you're standing in front of. So what I did was I set on a Zamtrios which had monster search, which shows all monsters on the map. Just kidding, only in a small area because there's pop-in. And there was one barrel feline that could spawn in that area. So you would teleport to the catavan stand, use monster search, and then that would show on the map where things are, and then teleport to the same catavan stand.
Which do you like better?
Again, we have to do the thing where we're just looking at the catavan stand and not the stuff around it. I prefer the catavan stands in one because of the fact that I actually used them in a way that made me feel good with the rare monsters and stuff. But I would prefer the system of two where you can teleport through the like the map. I liked the map, but I didn't like having to scroll through menus every time I hover over something. So I think that the two system is better, but I do like having paw pass tickets. I like grindy nonsense. So I prefer two with the caveat of I don't like it being free.
Fair.
What do you feel?
I agree.
Okay. And we'll end it
What?
here.
Really?
Yeah.
We're
So
almost done though.
we'll do four and then we'll talk about conclusion stuff.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we'll end it off here. Well, last part will definitely be the last part, I swear. We're definitely not gonna get sidetracked for 1,000 years. Don't do that.
Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.